To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to always remain a child. Because what is the worth of human life unless it is woven into the life of our ancestors by the records of history? Those were the words of a famous Roman philosopher, Marcus Tullius Cicero. By the same logic, we can add that a community which is ignorant of its roots can have no future. And those who oppose the religion of Islam have taken great efforts into obscuring its history from Muslims. Their aim is to ensure that Muslims never revisit their past successes lest they use it as a means of revival for their future. This covering, this concealment comes at a time when every other nation proudly revisits its heritage, its legacies, its heroes. Yet the Muslim nation deserves to celebrate and recall its past glory, because the creator of the heavens and the earth was the one who said, "Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas." You are the best nation which has ever been put forward as an example for mankind. Throughout its history, our ummah has produced individuals who left behind them awe-inspiring legacies and accomplishments. And this series seeks to shed light on 10 such individuals, each of whom excelled in their commitment to Islam and their consciousness of the hereafter until they were eventually issued a promise of paradise directly by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And here's the amazing thing, it happened during their very lifetime. This alone marks them out as having led lives worthy of closer inspection. Who are these 10 remarkable men? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Abu Bakr is in paradise, and Umar is in paradise, and Uthman is in paradise, and Ali is in paradise, and Talha is in paradise, and Az-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam is in paradise, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf is in paradise, Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas is in paradise, Sa'id is in paradise, and Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah is in paradise. The purpose of the series is not to expound upon the full names and the ancestry, the appearances, the intricate details of each of these individuals. It's more so about presenting their lives in a manner which balances between both the knowledge and the action-based approaches. Rather than merely disseminating information, we aim to present stories, narrations, commentaries, reflections that I hope will ignite a yearning within the hearts of the viewers for reformation and genuine change. One doesn't need to be a student of Islamic knowledge to gain from this series. The only prerequisite is the sincere desire to improve. And so the viewer may be, for example, a new Muslim, a parent seeking to inspire his or her children, a sermon giver on the pulpits of Friday, a teacher of study circles, or simply a simple Muslim like you and I who feels perhaps somewhat alienated at times and estranged from their surroundings. Our intention is for the viewers to walk away from this series understanding that they are neither alone nor are they an anomaly in their surroundings, even if they are made to feel like that at times. But that you are part of a tremendous legacy and you are expected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be an extension of it. That you are treading a path of greatness marked by those before you. And with this type of empowerment, the viewer should appreciate the need to occupy himself, to occupy herself in the same manner as they did. Remembering the greats of our past is vital, so important that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam of the Prophets Ibrahim and Ishaq and Yaqub, and Nuh and Dawood and Sulaiman and Ayub and Yusuf, Musa, Harun, Zakaria, Yahya, Isa, Ilyas, Ismail, Al-Yasa, Yunus, Lut, one after the other. And then he said to him, and this is the fruit of it all, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ هَدَى اللَّهُ فَبِهُدَاهُ مُقْتَدِي. Those are the ones whom Allah had guided, so follow their guidance. Focusing on these 10 men with particular attention to certain aspects of their lives has a number of benefits that I hope to impart. The first is that it should cause a humbling reality check in our lives one that prevents us from being occupied with the petty matters of life. The monumental efforts of these 10 men will inspire us, inshallah, away from absent-mindedness and low aspirations to the heights of activism and individual and collective reformation, inshallah. Secondly, it should strengthen the hearts of the already committed Muslims, whose sense of difference at times from the people around them becomes quite emotionally difficult to bear. The feelings of loneliness, being a societal outlier, these are tools that Shaitan exploits in his bid to break down a committed believer. You are different, you're weird, he will say. And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala related to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the companions at a time when the Muslims were few and they were weak, abandoned, the stories of the people who came before them. It was a reminder that they were not strange or alone, but they are the greatest of people in existence. Allah said to them during that vulnerable time, وَكُلًّا نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الرُّسُلِ مَا نُثَبِّتُ بِهِ فُؤَادَكَ. Each of the stories we relate to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, of the news of the messengers, so that we give strength to your heart. The lives of these 10 men will serve as a motivational precedent, reminding the viewer that others have suffered as well, that others were considered outcasts as well, and that despite this, they stood dignified and firm upon their principles. They were eventually given relief, and their promise of paradise from Allah was honored. It came to pass. Lastly, when speaking about the objectives of the series, reflecting on the stories of these 10 individuals will allow us to reconnect our hearts with the inevitable day of reckoning. For this reason, I have endeavored to choose the narrations surrounding these 10 men that I consider to be the most reviving and inspiring of a genuine shift in aspirations. I take the opportunity to relay key messages within each of these episodes, as rather than serving as a historical account of their lives, I hope that this series will bring about the greater purpose of reminding us of the home of the hereafter and the way of life required by every Muslim in preparation for it. Imam Ibn al-Jawzi, he said, رأيت الاشتغال بالفقه وسماع الحديث لا يكاد يكفي في صلاح القلب. He said, I've come to learn in life that engrossing yourself in the study of fiqh and the listening to hadith, they may not be at times sufficient on their own to rectify the heart. He said, إلا أن يمزج بالرقائق والنظر في سير السلف الصالحين. Rather, they must also be mixed with heart softeners and a study of the lives of the people who came before us. And how pertinent were the words of the companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, who said, "Man kana minkum mustannan falyastanna biman qad mat, fa innal hayya la tu'manu alayhi al-fitnah." He said, whoever of you wishes to follow someone, let him follow those who have died, because those who are still alive are not safe from fitnah. They are not safe from tests. So who is he referring to? He goes on to say, أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ مُحَمَّدٍ sallallahu alayhi wasallam كانوا أفضل هذه الأمة. They are the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said they were the finest of this ummah. أبرها قلوبا وأعمقها علما وأقلها تكلفا. They possessed the most righteous of hearts and the deepest of knowledge, and they were the most upright or the most genuine of people. He said, قوم اختارهم الله لصحبة نبيه وإقامة دينه. They were people whom Allah chose to accompany His Prophet, and He chose them to establish His religion. فاعرفوا لهم فضلهم واتبعوهم في آثارهم وتمسكوا بما استطعتم من أخلاقهم ودينهم. He said, so acknowledge their virtue and follow in their footsteps and adhere as much as you can to their morals and to their religion. He concludes by saying, فَإِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا عَلَى الْهُدَى الْمُسْتَقِيمِ, because they were upon the correct guidance. So with all of this said, we are ready, inshallah, to begin our journey. Join us, inshallah.